Yeah, of course, we want to get you caught up on the breaking news we brought you, and there it is, a live look right now. There's Chopper 8 showing you this plane that went down in the Carlsbad area, literally right in the surf as the waves are crashing on it. It's there on the sand. We got reports of this initially about an hour ago. For reference on where this is, it's right by those campgrounds, Carlsbad State Beach, South Ponto Beach, and Ponto Road, I should say, and Carlsbad Boulevard. And so please avoid that area.
Yeah, this plane went down about an hour ago. Carlsbad Fire Department got a call about this crash. And you see it right there on the beach. It appears to be a black single-engine plane. You can see some onlookers there at the top. Maybe some of those folks are with the fire and rescue as well. Unknown any injuries right now. The good news is as the Chopper 8's getting over this this bluff here, it looked to be mostly intact. Maybe one of the wings was impacted by this. We have a ground crew on the way as well to try to figure out what may have led up to this, the condition of any of the passengers on there. There's the plane there on the bottom left of your screen. You can see the what appears to be the left wing. Looks like it was clipped quite a bit, but mostly intact, as you see it right there on the surf line.
Yeah, we've been talking about the high surf and high tide and all of that. Usually, I used to live right near there. We'd go down to that beach often. It's pretty rocky right there, but you usually see more beach space. Not the case right now with the way the surf is. So, of course, we're concerned about the people in that, maybe one or more people in this plane. And I can tell you, McClellan-Palomar Airport, not too far from there, just to the east there in Carlsbad. So that airport may or may not have been where this plane was leaving or headed to. Obviously, this right now is way too early for us to tell more details on that. But you can see the plane. It's a small one. Can't tell at this angle how many people possibly would fit in a plane like that. But of course, it's the people that we're concerned about most, making sure everyone got out of there safely. Yeah, you see the wing right there clipped basically in half, it looks like, on one side.
Propeller in the front there. We have, again, a crew on the way there to see what is going on. Hopefully everyone's okay that was in that plane. Not too far, really, from the interstate either, and these campgrounds. So if this pilot was able to navigate around that and safely land on the beach, props to them, because there's people living in those campers that you see now on the top left of your screen, and again, not too far away from the interstate and other roads.
Right. Yeah, that Carlsbad State Beach campground is a very popular one. Obviously, you see the ocean view. Many people stay there for camping, for leisure, and that beach is also popular for surfing. So, right now, obviously, you can see the surf crashing right into that plane. I mean, to see this happening right here along that cliffside there, obviously things could have been worse if other people were involved or if it had hit possibly near that campground. Poinsettia Lane is the closest larger road next to this. Poinsettia and the 5 you may be familiar with, and it's just south, it looks like, of Poinsettia Lane. That's literally right where I used to live. And there's a grocery store, big shopping center, actually across the street from Carlsbad Boulevard there. So you can imagine there were a few witnesses that may have seen this happen. Again, about 7:40 is when that initial call came in from Carlsbad Fire Department. And obviously the fire department, there's the waves kind of taking that plane now, moving it
around because that high surf. I just pulled up the map for McClellan-Palomar Airport, and it looks like it's just about 2 miles east of here. Not sure if that's where the plane took off from, but Netta, you're right. The high surf now it's starting to spin things around there as the onlookers are looking at this plane here. We can see, the identification number of the plane there. So we are hearing that it potentially may have left from Montgomery Field. So there you have it. We have a lot of regional airports here where these single-engine planes take off from. Now the big waves are starting to crash into that plane.
Yeah, we're looking at just high tide right now. It just ended about 90 minutes or so ago. So obviously the tide is still extremely high. We have that beach hazard statement. So today's the day with big waves, big surf as you see, and it's causing this plane to twist around right before our eyes. I mean, the main concern, obviously, as we mentioned, is anyone in there? Did they get out safely, we hope? It's hard to tell. Obviously, we're looking at this live along with you at home.
Yeah, if you're just joining us right now, this is breaking news that we are following here on the CW San Diego. A plane crash in Carlsbad in the surf near Ponto Road and Carlsbad Boulevard. It went down just about an hour ago. We noticed right away that the left wing had been clipped, but since these waves have now been pounding, it appears the rear of the plane is starting to suffer damage as well. So we aren't quite sure if there is anyone who is injured in this. Not too far from the campground you saw there and very close to the interstate as well.
Yeah, you can tell the power of the surf right there, the way it just almost rips apart pieces of this plane and spins it around. This is a smaller plane, and right now you can see the number that's on there, usually used to identify these planes and get an idea of where it was going or where it was coming from. So our newsroom is working to get information on that, and they did say that the plane, it looks like, left from Montgomery Field. So not necessarily McClellan Palomar, which is just 2 miles away, but Montgomery Field rather. So at this point, obviously we're waiting to find out if anyone was, who's on board, how they're doing. And I don't see law enforcement. When the Chopper 8 obviously looks at this wider view, you see some of those campers, people looking at those benches that are right there. Obviously that's a popular spot for ocean views, and people hang out there often. And about an hour ago, likely people that were there saw this plane coming down, and it looks like it ended up right there in the surf. Waves are now building and taking on a lot of this aircraft right there. So unfortunately, you do see damage to part of the wing as we're looking at this live, and you can see it was spinning around a little bit in the water as well.
So we got some information after we ran the registration. This is a Piper PA 28R200 airplane that appears to have left Montgomery. Montgomery just about 7:40 is when they first started getting calls that this plane had crashed near Ponto Road and Carlsbad Boulevard. We do see the fire department. We saw a fire truck. We see other emergency vehicles pulling up alongside of this campground, which again is just on top of that cliff as you're looking down. And we've been seeing the surf spinning this airplane around, actually causing more damage than what we initially saw when we first saw this Chopper 8 shot about 10 minutes ago.
Yeah, and you wonder, you know, with part of the wing clipped, what may have happened there. Did it hit the side of the cliff, or it ended up on the beach there and that caused the damage? And obviously the priority is people's safety, and then to figure out how to get that plane lifted up. That area, it's pretty tough to access. There's only a stairwell that's down there. There's the fire truck right there. That's likely the access. So a pretty long stairwell that you'll have to take to get down to the rocky beach where you see. So there are fire crews, a lot of people out there going for likely their morning walk, stopping to take a look at what's going on at this very popular beach. Again, it's South Carlsbad State Beach, right by the campground, just south of Poinsettia Lane and Carlsbad Boulevard.
Again, we have a ground crew on the way to answer a lot of the questions that we have, that you're probably having right now. Was anyone injured in this? Did the pilot or potential passenger make it out okay? Was anyone on the ground injured as well? Again, very close to this campground. Doesn't appear there was any impact out there, but there was some sort of impact to this airplane, as we saw from that left wing. So we have a crew on the way as Chopper 8 is overhead. This breaking news of plane crash in Carlsbad in the surf near Ponto Road and Carlsbad Boulevard.
Yeah, and we'll be sure to get more information, bring it to you live right here on our news and on our website, cbs8.com.